take him down, but they just did, just as he is taking down the Mets. What a great day to wrap up a homestand here in Philadelphia. The Phils get set to take on the New York Mets. Plenty to do before, plenty to eat before, and plenty of things to settle in for as we get set for Game 4 between the Phils and the Mets here at Citizens Bank Park. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Jamie Moyer. The Phillies wrapping up this homestand, looking for a victory to get their 5th win on this stand and also to even up this 4-game series against the Mets. And well, there have been some heroics so far in this homestand, and Ryan Howard has provided a lot of them.
Yeah, Thursday night, there's a lot of drama created late in the game, and Ryan was able to help create this before he hit the home run by setting himself up in a great situation. This at bat, he fouled off several pitches, took several close pitches, and ends up hitting a grand slam to put the Phillies ahead and give them a win in the 9th inning. And again, this is allowing the Phillies to continue the momentum that they're creating. Now here yesterday, late in the game, he gets a slider, middle of the plate, stays with it, doesn't have to really chase it. Mejia leaves it up in the zone, hits it down the right field line, again for a game winner to get the Phillies back into this series. Now today, we're going to go into the final game of this 4-game set, hoping to tie this series.
Hoping to tie this series. They'll give the baseball to David Buchanan. And David, in his first start back from the minor leagues, his last time out, he looked rather impressive against the Astros.
Yeah, David is really starting to come into his own. And when I say coming into his own, he's a 4-pitch pitcher that is very, very aggressive. And one thing I've talked just a little bit about this year, I like the lead side. When his front side gets up, gets down, he hides the ball real well. But he attacks with all 4 pitches. He has a lot of confidence, and I think that confidence is going to bode well for him as he goes through his career.
Well, and you can see it not only before he left for the minor leagues, but obviously he had a little bit of a presence the other day against the Astros.
He did. He's got a little bit of edge to himself, and he comes here each and every day to try to get better. Even the days that he's not pitching, he spends a lot of time talking to guys on the bench, looking at video, and working on his mechanics.
All right, so those mechanics hopefully will dictate success today against the New York Mets. It's the final day of this homestand here in Philadelphia. It's Game 4 between the Phils and the Mets. It'll be Buchanan making his 12th start, and John Neese will be making his 22nd start of the season for the New York Mets. Well, last night's game, or yesterday's game, I should say, was kind of set up with a couple of big swings. One of those was Marlon Byrd. He drove in the tying run, got into scoring position, eventually scored the winning run. Lineups at first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. By Toyota, the annual clearance event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank, introducing One Deposit Checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. And by Independence Blue Cross, the most preferred health plan in the region. Independence Blue Cross, live fearless. understand the moment, the fact that he's about to face the New York Mets in a big league game, but he also understands what it's like to be a young fan, getting a chance to soak in a ball game here and to get a souvenir from the starting pitcher. Pretty neat scene just a few moments ago as he prepared to take the mound as the Phils wrap up this 4-game series against the New York Mets. We mentioned he has a presence. He certainly does. Let's see what he'll do today against this lineup for the Mets. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. It'll be Granderson, Murphy, and Wright, followed by Duda, Lagares, and Dendecker. And the bottom third of Wilmer Flores, Anthony Recker, and Jonathan Neese. And David Buchanan, 6-5 in the big leagues. He hasn't been here the whole year. He's tied for the team lead in wins. He won 6 games down in the minors, so he's got 12 victories, Jamie, combined between AAA and the major leagues.
That's a pretty nice year for a young kid that's really wasn't on the Phillies' radar screen, if you will, back in spring training. I think he's opened some eyes. He's thrown the ball well. You can see him progress as he's going through. And today, you're going to see a 4-pitch pitcher. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. He's going to be very aggressive if he follows suit from any of his other starts. And he's going to keep the Phillies in the game.
Oh, he faces Curtis Granderson to start this ball game. Granderson's had a good series. He's 6 for 13 against the Phillies. And quickly, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Last outing for Buchanan, he went 6 1/3. He allowed 9 hits. Phillies won that game against the Astros 10-3. Following the ball game, he was actually following his outing. He was a little disappointed that he didn't get deeper than 6 1/3. That's where he finished up, but he wanted to finish that 7th inning. Fly ball left center field. Ben Revere was way over toward right center. Darren Ruff comes gliding in. All right, Jamie, it's time now for the Nissan keys to today's game.
Okay, my first key today is for Buchanan to stay aggressive with all of his pitches, which he normally does, but you want to continue to do that facing these Mets. And my second key is don't wait till the 9th inning to score some runs.
Yeah, it is kind of exciting and everything, but let's see if the Phillies can jump out to an early lead here and maintain it. Daniel Murphy, a swing at a foul tip. It's 0-1. Ryan Howard certainly has been the hero late in games on this homestand. Oh, 0-2. Good off-speed pitch to Murphy.
Both of those last 2 pitches to Daniel Murphy were really good pitches. The first pitch was a sinker that ran down and away and had David Murphy out on his front foot, and then he backs it up with a changeup, and that's again where he can be aggressive with his pitches. All of his pitches, even his off-speed pitches, will really help David.
Well, good location on that pitch there into the kitchen with the curveball, and Murphy grounds it to first. So 2 outs. David Wright is coming up. Wright is 5 for 13. With a run scored and a walk in this series. He's hit in 9 consecutive games, including the 2 multi-hit games in this series. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. They say he went around on that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, let me tell you, we've been spoiled in this area for the month of July and August, but it's hot today. We're not used to this heat. There's a little humidity in the air.
The heat wave.
.84 degrees. A little different 84 degrees than the last couple days. And a called strike 3. Man, oh man, that was a beauty of a pitch. It was a cutter that he started in, and it came back over the middle of the plate. David Buchanan has a 1-2-3 first inning. Picks up his first strikeout along the way. Pretty good job by Buchanan. 13 pitches overall. We'll go to the bottom of the first. And that's nothing. Phillies coming up. in their half of the first. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Your home for the most live sports. Leading it off in center field, Ben Revere. Jimmy Rollins about second. Marlon Byrd hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and Carlos Ruiz. Darren Ruff's in left field. He'll bat sixth. Andres Blanco at second base bats seventh. Hitting eighth and playing third base is Cody Ashley. And batting ninth and pitching is Buchanan. And they'll face a guy that, well, it's getting kind of redundant. They've seen a million times before. It's left-hander Jonathan Neese, who comes in with a record of 5-8, which is a little light. Not very good since the All-Star break. He's allowed 130 hits in 128 in the third inning. I would think, Jamie, that's a little high for him. 130 hits in 128 in the third.
It is, and he's got a career record of 7-6. Tom, you mentioned he's pitched against the Phillies a lot. He's got a career record of 7-6 with a 3.03 ERA. Again, another four-pitch pitcher, anywhere from upper 80s, 89 down to 82. And he's a guy that really depends on location and a little bit of deception with his mechanics.
Well, Ben Revere leads it off. Revere 3 for 14 in the series. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Revere. Ben overall hitting .308. He's 7th in the league in hitting. Chops that one past the mound. Murphy charges. Makes a fine play. 1 out. Ben may have spun his wheels a little bit in the batter's box, but that was a very good play by Murphy. And that'll bring Jimmy Rollins to the plate. Rollins has hit in 4 of his last 5 games, but here in the month of August, his average has been a little light, 195. It's dropped his overall average to 241. And he takes a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Tim Kinsella of Deptford. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, and Tim will win $100. Curveball chopped right back to the mound. So 2 ground ball outs for Jonathan Neese. He'll get a lot of ground ball outs when he's effective. And with 2 away, Marlon Byrd is coming to the plate.
Oh, and it's not like Jonathan Neese doesn't have a history with most of the Phillies here, so he's got an idea what he wants to do, and I'm sure the Phillies hitters have an idea of what he's got. Now it's kind of that mano-a-mano thing here. Bring me what you got and let me put a swing on what I see.
Yeah, there are 2 players that have good numbers against him with a lot of at-bats. Marlon Byrd is one, and I say a lot. You kind of put it in perspective. Marlon is 6 for 15. Ruiz, though, is 10 for 27 against him. And Carlos will follow Ryan Howard, who's on deck. No balls and 1 strike to Marlon Byrd. Breaking ball, 0-2. Marlon had a big at-bat in yesterday's game, obviously coming up off the bench, just kind of serving a ground ball single through the middle.
If you watch that hit, if Mejia doesn't fall off the mound the way he does, that's a comebacker. It's a line drive back to him. But the way he comes off the mound, he had no chance at catching that ball.
Swinging a foul tip, and it's a strikeout for Jonathan Neese. So Terry Collins' team sets the Phillies down in order 1, 2, 3. Both teams go down quietly, and we'll head to the second. Take on the Seattle Mariners on Monday, August 18th. It's a 3-game series. The Ryan Howard Bobble figurine being given out on Tuesday the 19th. Tickets can be purchased for all 3 games and for every home game left for the regular season by going to Phillies.com. Top of the second, Lucas Duda leads it off. Duda is 3 for 13 with a home run in this series, and he takes a breaking ball in the outside corner. It's 0-1. Well, this is what we've grown accustomed to David Buchanan. He throws it, he gets it, and he throws it again. There's very little wasted time in between pitches. The only wasted time is from the batter who's trying to waste time. 1 ball, 1 strike to Duda. Yeah, see, he's ready to go, and Duda's still getting in the box, which is what you expect for a hitter. They're trying to delay the pitcher from getting into whatever flow he wants to. Change up fouled at home plate.
He's still Duda-ing.
Think he's humming that song in his head?
I am.
Every time you say his name, even though it's not Duda. Breaking ball, 2-2. I'm sure he's heard that ever since he was a ball player at USC. Not even before. This is his home run yesterday.
He gets a fastball outer third of the plate, slightly elevated, and drives it pretty well to almost dead center field.
His changeup waved at, back-to-back strikeouts. 1 to end the first, 1 to begin the second for Buchanan. And Juan Lagares is coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy.
All right, thanks, Tom. Well, 4 up and 4 down for David Buchanan, who after his last start, I had a conversation with him, and he talked about this being an opportunity for him to go out there and show this organization what he can do for the remainder of this season. And that really is the subject of our Geico quote today. This is what he had to say. He said, every time I go out there, I take it as a chance to go out and help this team win a game. So every 5 days, if I keep getting the baseball, that's all I'm going to worry about. That start, taking it pitch by pitch, obviously, I'd be more than happy to stay here as long as they'll have me. Very much a trial period for David Buchanan, but if you look ahead and take a look at the rotation for 2015, certainly he would be a guy in that mix, and that's why he's hoping to impress in the final 2 months of the season, guys.
Yeah, Murph, I think Jamie mentioned it before. It wasn't really on the Phillies' radar to be a starting pitcher this year prior to spring training, and then all of a sudden spring training did a heck of a job. Really impressed them in the offseason at the rookie symposium that the Phillies have for their young players. As Lagares is hit by a pitch for the second time in this series. But this year has been a huge growing opportunity for David Buchanan. Just the fact that he got to the big leagues at this point.
And anyone that's had a conversation with him can tell that he is an impressive young man off the field. He's a very bright guy, and he's a guy that seems to have a terrific work ethic as well. And Jamie, you talk about that kind of stuff all the time, and how important that is to get here to the big leagues, to have that, and to stay here in the big leagues. You have to keep that up as well.
A little frustrated that he hit Lagares there because he was ahead. And now Matt Dendecker, who was 2 for 5 yesterday. And he pulls that one foul.
Well, yeah, he obviously wasn't trying to hit Lagares there, but I do like his aggressiveness on the inside part of the plate and off the plate. And if that other team knows that you will pitch inside, at times they will be a little less apt to stick their nose out across the plate.
Kind of talked about that yesterday. You and Mike were talking about that at length yesterday, about the comfort level of hitters. That one's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dendecker was hitting .334 down in the minor leagues in AAA out of the University of Florida. There it goes. Pitches swung on and missed, and Ruiz just can't get a handle on it. So Lagares has a stolen base. Lagares had a pretty good jump, but he picked the right pitch to run on.
Yeah, it's a tough ball to handle. It's down, and he backhanded it. Just didn't stay in his glove when he went to go get it. It wasn't there. But Lagares did have a good jump. And I think if David Buchanan can really focus on getting Dendecker out here, that stolen base really shouldn't come into play.
Chopper right side. Blanco playing second base for Utley. Base runner moves over to third. And Wilmer Flores will be the hitter.
Now, obviously, as astute as David is, I'm sure he's sat for the previous 3 games and realizes that Wilmer Flores can be a very aggressive first ball swinger. So making a quality pitch here, not just flipping something up there trying to get an early strike, will be really important, especially with a man on third base.
Flores shows bunt. He bunted at it. Oh, wow. Andy Fletcher says that he did not. I have to admit, I thought well, maybe I'm wrong. Let's take a look. Ready? He definitely offered at that. He pulled it back as the ball was by him. Where's replay on that, Jamie? Come on.
Just keep playing the game. Just keep the pace of the game going. We don't need to replay.
1 ball and 1 strike to Flores.
Trying to get me going, huh, Tom?
Well, that one's pulled foul. I have to admit, I was just surprised that they missed that one.
Yeah, he had the bat out there, but I don't think they saw it as he made an attempt to go to the ball. But still, you're right. The bat was out there.
Yeah.
If the ball was on the plate, or more towards the plate, they may have called that a strike.
Chopper to shortstop. It may not matter. Rollins with a big hop. Side is retired. No runs, no hits. 1 man left in scoring position. We've played an inning and a half here in Philadelphia. We move on to the bottom of the second. Mets nothing. Phillies nothing. On CSN, and Michael Barkan could discuss your tweet on Philly Sports Talk presented by Comcast Business tonight at 5 on Comcast Sportsnet. Bottom of the second, Ryan Howard, Carlos Ruiz, and Darren Ruff to face left-hander Jonathan Neese. Ryan was asked yesterday about the Mets walking him intentionally before this base hit. He said, listen, the other guy had 3 hits. I didn't have any before this. I would have walked him too. And then he came through by hooking that one down the right field line. And then something you don't often see. Going down. Here's Ryan Howard to lead it off. Takes outside. It's 1-0. Howard overall 218, 18 homers, 72 runs batted in. Henry Mejia talked after yesterday's ball game about the intentional walk to Utley, which I don't think any of us were that surprised at, to be quite honest with you. And Mejia said that he was somewhat surprised that they asked him to walk Utley. Terry Collins said it was the right thing to do, and if Mejia had made some pitches, then everything would have been fine.
Well, that's what it all comes down to. The manager has the choice to do what he wants to do and look at numbers and swings and experience, and I think he did the right thing, Tom.
I don't think any of us were that surprised that he walked Utley.
Sometimes when you start second guessing your manager, your opportunities may not be as consistent.
That's Terry Collins right there to your left. Bob Guerin to your right, in case you're wondering. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Nice. He's following the same pattern as David Buchanan. 2 strikeouts in the first inning of the third.
Ryan saw a lot of fastballs away. Actually, that one was supposed to be away as well, and it leaks up to the top of the zone, close to Ryan's eyes, and he can't lay off of it. And Nice ends up throwing the ball by him for the second strikeout of the game.
That'll bring Carlos Ruiz to the plate. Carlos pops it up. That'll be out of play. 0-1. Will Nieves did the catching yesterday. Carlos 2 for 8 so far in this series. Just trying to get the hitter to creep outside a little bit more. Ruiz held off. And it's 2-1. Toward right field, Granderson was positioned properly to make the catch for the second out. 2 outs. Darren Rupp's coming up. Darren getting a chance to make the start today. Only made 1 start here in the month of August. His average at 129 with a home run and 2 runs batted in. A little high, 1-0. Darren has had himself a peculiar season. You talk about patience in the game of baseball or in sports. Because of injuries, a couple of them, and because of just timing, Darren has had to be patient in A, getting back to the big leagues, and B, just getting any kind of consistent playing time.
And that's where, when you get the opportunity, you got to take advantage of it.
He walks on 4 pitches. That'll bring Blanco to the plate. Has to be hard, though. You think about where he was a couple of years ago with all those home runs in the minor leagues, the offseason he had, and wound up reaching double digits in home runs last year, and the last couple of years expecting to take that next step as a big league player, and for one reason or another, he hasn't been able to take that step.
And that's what the Phillies are looking for him to do, is to take that step. whether you're playing the utility role or getting a consistent chance to play. They're trying to find how he would fit in to this type of situation.
And Nice just threw his 5th pitch out of the strike zone, so Anthony Recker's going to go out and chat with him. I do believe he thought that last one was on the outside part of the plate, but Mark Wagner thought differently. Andres Blanco playing in his 251st major league game. He's been a big leaguer with the Royals, the Cubs, and the Rangers. And he whacks that one to left field. Going back on it is Dendecker. It's off his glove. He plays it off the wall. The hold up at third. We'll see how they score that. It should be a double based on previous scoring. But we'll see, because it did go off his glove. But Blanco hit that ball well.
Hit that ball hard, and it almost looked like initially off the bat, Dendecker didn't know which way to go. And yeah, Blanco kind of helped it get over Dendecker's head right there with that little hop going down the first base line. But when you talk about opportunity, Andres Blanco has done a great job of taking advantage of the opportunities that he's gotten this year.
Couldn't agree more. And obviously the offense is nice. He's hitting .381 because they did score that a double. But his defense, whether it be at third base, at shortstop, or at second base, has been really good. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Ashe. Ashe 1 for 11 in the series. The one was a big one, though. It was the double that started the 9th inning rally yesterday. Blanco playing second base for Chase Utley, who has the afternoon off.
I believe Blanco's turned himself into a nice commodity here for the Phillies. They have options with him. He can play several different positions. He can pinch run. He can pinch hit. He can bunt. Very serviceable player when you have the ability to do a number of different things. And you don't even know he's around.
No. You write him down in the lineup card, you kind of forget sometimes that he's there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ashe with runners on second and third. And he chops that one back towards second base. Daniel Murphy swings it over to first. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 men left in scoring position. End of 2. Mets nothing, Phillies nothing. We'll go back to the third. excellent rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. They should sign them up and bring them down on the field. And they also got some lollipops. What a great day to be at the ballpark on a hot summer afternoon. No score between the Phillies and the Mets. Thought it was great that when they got to the part where it's a 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out, the little guy kept saying 2, 2, 2.
I think he was ordering ice cream for he and his sister.
He may have been. Anthony Recker ahead, 1 ball, no strikes. Recker 0 for 8 in the month of August, 0 for his last 16. And he pops that one up on the infield left side. Rollins, sunglasses on. Time now for the Jeep Stump the Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. Please submit your answer on the subject line. This is a great question. What former Met had a hit in 2 different cities for 2 different teams on the same day? Answer will be revealed in just a little bit. Just so you know, Jamie, you have a connection to both of the 2 of the 4 teams that were playing. No, 3 of the 4 teams that were playing in those 2 games. Nice play by Rollins to throw out Nice. Two outs.
Nice play. Jimmy takes that ball on the second base side of the bag. Knows he has time with Jonathan Nice running down the line. Turns it into a pretty simple play. I think it scored as a 1-6-3, is it not?
You are correct. Guess I got a piece of Buchanan. 2 outs. Granderson's coming up. All right, let me rephrase that. You have a connection to 2 of the 4 teams. Does that help you at all?
No.
I didn't think it
would.
Would
one of them be Baltimore?
No.
Would one of them be Boston?
No.
One of them be Philly?
Yes. One ball, 2 strikes.
82. Where is that? In summer baseball.
Yeah, you weren't there yet at the one place. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
St. Joe? No. I was already there, so that wouldn't be right. That was the first thing that came to my mind.
This happened in the big leagues, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
82.
Well, the first one happened in Chicago at Wrigley. The first hit.
I faintly remember something like this.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little time.
Yeah, no, it'll come back to you. Foul tip. Granderson strikes out. Give you at least 90 seconds to think about it before we come back. Although we're not going to reveal it just yet. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Both teams have had a base runner or 2, but nothing else. Call 1-800-JEF now for an appointment. By WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And buy Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Get a glimpse inside McFadden's, the restaurant, which is attached to Citizens Bank Park. Been here since the outset. Great place to grab a bite to eat, grab a pop before the ball game. That's outside at McFadden's, the patio. Hey, folks, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a game going on. David Buchanan will lead it off. 0-1 to Buchanan, who picked up his first major league hit. His first major league RBI in his last game. Two. He's had some much better swings these last couple of games.
Confidence. Still needs to take the donut off. I know the feeling.
Well, I don't know. Can you get any lighter than what he has right now?
You realize you're not that good of a hitter. You think you're a good hitter, but you realize that deep down that you're not. And you're trying to figure out ways to start your swing a little sooner, but you don't trust it.
Breaking ball, 2-2. I have to say, though, his whole setup is good. He's close to the plate. He's got a little bit of an open stance. Choke it up on the bat handle a little bit. Got a little rock to him. Back toward the middle, off Neese. Well, that's a big benefit for the Mets. David Wright is able to throw him out. Flores may have still been able to get to that up the middle, but by deflecting it, not purposely, over to right, it was deflected pretty sharply, so it's a 1-5-3 putout.
It was hit pretty hard, actually.
Yeah.
Got him in, looks like maybe the back of the calf.
Oh, yeah.
Right below the knee?
Right below the knee.
It's kind of an unprotected area right there.
Ray Ramirez, Terry Collins out to chat with him. He says he's okay. Well, he throws a warm-up pitch or two. We'll remind you that the St. Louis Cardinals will be here at Philadelphia for their only visit during the regular season. It's a weekend set on Friday, August 22nd at 7:05. Sunday the 24th is the back-to-school gym bag from ShopRite. Free to fans 14 and under. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com.
David's probably sitting in the dugout feeling he's snake bitten.
I'll tell you what, though, you go up with that kind of stance, he's made some adjustments. Then Revere grounded out to second, his only time up. Ryan Sandberg was trying to limit the left-handers today. He's got Revere, Howard, and Ashe as true lefties in the lineup. Broke his bat. Duda waited, then got to it. Revere wins the race to the bag. An infield hit. Second hit for the Phils. And Revere kind of limps his way back. He's been doing that a lot lately.
Here's one of those plays where when the pitcher doesn't break immediately, when that ball is hit to his left, that's usually what happens, especially with a guy with Ben Revere's speed. So, we've talked about this several times this year. Anytime the ball is, as a pitcher, anytime the ball is hit to your left, you need to break off the mound quite quickly with 2 to 3 steps. And plus, he falls towards the third base side, but Ben Revere is fast. you got to get on your horse and get over there.
Well, another infield hit for Revere. His average at 308, right where it was when he started today. Rollins grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Balls, 1 strike to Rollins. See if Revere's off and running here with 1 out. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He's got the feeling back in that foot. He goes. Swung on and missed. Recker's throw is high. Revere is safe at second. 32 stolen bases for Ben Revere.
Ben gets a good jump right here. I don't want to say he steals his bag easily, but that jump was the difference of him being out or safe.
Ben's career high in stolen bases is 40. He's at 32 right now.
I believe he'd surpass that this year.
I think there's a good chance. Back in 2012, he stole 40 bases with the Twins. He really did have a good year back in 2012 with the Twins. He had 294. That one's hit out toward left field. It's not deep. Dendecker froze, but it's hit high enough for him to come under it. Phillies leave another one in scoring position. So they've left 3 in scoring position in the first 3 innings of this afternoon's ball game. On to the 4th. Not a whole lot of offense here today. Rowan was busy signing some autographs for some of the Phillies fans who remember him so well and the way he played the game and the kind of energy he brought not only to the ballpark but also into the clubhouse. And then Aaron went out to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. Chase Utley had the honors of doing the catching. It's always great to see Aaron here at the ballpark, and he is standing by with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Yeah, when you think about popular players in the last 10 years, this guy's name always comes up, Aaron Rowan. Welcome back to Philadelphia. It's good to see you, and I would imagine the end of a pretty good weekend for Alumni Weekend. Did you enjoy yourself?
Oh, yeah, it was great. It was wonderful to see all the guys, guys that are still playing, guys that I played against and with that came back to this. Is really cool.
You and I were just chatting in the commercial break. I said you probably can't come back to Philadelphia without somebody mentioning the catch. And I know they showed it up on the Fanavision before you threw out the first pitch today, so I'm not going to be the first person not to ask you. What do you remember about that moment and the moments after the press conference after? What do you remember about all that?
Mainly that we won the game, and that was the biggest thing. I remember laying in the hospital watching the game on TV, and it ended up being a rain-shortened game, and I found out we had won 2-0, so I was pumped about that. Just that's probably like my biggest memory, was laying there and hearing that we had won.
Are you surprised that the life that has taken on, so many years later? That was 2006 when that happened, as Daniel Murphy hits one down the right field line for 2. Are you surprised that people still talk about it, and when you're around, it's all anyone wants to talk about?
Yeah, I never thought that it would ever turn into something that it did, but individually, I'm just glad they got some padding back up there so that the guys that play out there now don't end up breaking their face.
Yeah, it was a hard way to learn a lesson, that's for sure. What about nowadays? What's Aaron Rowan up to? I know you had a trip up to Cooperstown not too long ago to see your former teammate in Frank Thomas. What are you doing to keep yourself busy nowadays?
I have a travel ball team for my son. He's 9. Really just playing, coaching baseball and being a dad. I missed a lot of time doing that, and I'm really enjoying being a part of my kids' sports and stuff during this time. And I'm sure I'll get back into coaching and do some hitting stuff somewhere. But right now, being a dad is really fun. I'm enjoying it. I missed a lot of that. Yeah,
it certainly is a full-time job, no doubt about that. Coming back to Philadelphia, getting a chance to see the fans on a weekend like this, though, bring back some good memories, I would bet.
Absolutely. Just being at the ballpark here, and it's a great ballpark, great fans. It's something special. They called me to ask me if I could come do this, and I want to make sure that I could get here, especially for Charlie. Having his plaque put up on the wall means a lot. I know how much it means to him, and it meant a lot for me to be here and show him how much I love him.
All right, well, Aaron, it certainly was good to see you. Enjoy the rest of your time here in Philadelphia, and enjoy your time with your family as well. Tom, we'll send it back to you in the booth.
All right, Murph, thank you. Runner at second, the count 1-1, make it 2-1 to David Wright. As David Buchanan allows his first hit of the afternoon. It was a double down the right field line. And it is always good to see Aaron Rowan. I saw him before the ball game as he was heading out to do his autograph signing. And if you talk to Charlie Manuel about guys who help make a difference in the clubhouse for this ball club on their path to the World Championship, Aaron Rowan is one of the first people that he points to. He sort of helped plant the seed. He may not have been here in 08 when you guys won the World Championship, Jamie, but Charlie says that he and his attitude sort of planted the seed for 2006.
Oh, most definitely, Tom. Aaron, not only was he a leader in the clubhouse, but he was a leader down on that bench between innings. He was a leader out on the field, especially by the way he played. And there's a line drive back through the middle on a fastball that tailed right over the middle of the plate that was elevated to give the Mets their first run of the game here. But yeah, Aaron Rowan was just, he was a catalyst for us. He especially in the dugout, when you kind of sense when guys were a little tired. He'd get on guys and not get on guys to beat them up, but to say, hey, let's go, let's pick it up. And he would, and he exuded that on the field as a player, as a teammate. When he went to the plate, you always respected the at-bat you were going to get from him. I faced him when he was in Chicago with the White Sox. He was a tough out. Now to be a teammate and see the other side and see really who he was about was really an enjoyable opportunity for myself.
Well, it's nice to see him. I'm sure the fans are pretty excited to get a chance to see him downstairs signing some autographs. Lucas Duda is the batter. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Duda. He struck out his first time up. An RBI single for David Wright. He's extended his hitting streak to 10 games. And he's given the Mets the early lead. Phillies will set up to try to turn 2. Ashe just signaled to Ryan Howard that he's the one that's going to receive the throw from him if there's a ground ball to first. Ashe's playing that shortstop position with the overshift. 2 balls, 1 strike. Good changeup. He got him on a changeup the last time. It's 2-2.
You see these guys like Duda with a big swing. They don't really shorten their swing, so you can continue to attack with that same pitch as long as it's a quality pitch down in the zone with a change of speeds.
Strikeout number 4 for David Buchanan. And 1 out for Juan Lagares.
Good curveball there with a lot of depth. That change of speed and the depth is really what makes that pitch effective.
Well, Buchanan hit Lagares the last time he was up, and he was left over at third. Phillies will set up again to turn 2. This time a little more traditional setup. Out of play, 0-1.
See that the way Lagares took that pitch, that tells me he's diving out over the plate. In the previous at bat, he got hit. First pitch up, he's swinging out of his shoes. And he did. He swung at that cutter, almost like he knew it was coming. I'm sure he didn't. And then Buchanan, throws it a fastball in, moves him off, jacks him off the plate, and then comes back with another fastball in for a strike.
Well, they're setting up in again. Swing and a miss. Threw him something soft. Back-to-back strikeouts. 5 for Buchanan. Pulling a doubleheader at the office. W.B. Mason's huge selection of Green Mountain K-Cup packs keeps you running and provides fan base satisfaction. Order by 11:30 and get free same-day delivery. Who but W.B. Mason?
I love that sequence right there. That was it. Started with a cutter away after he hit him the previous at bat. He drove him off the plate with a fastball and then a fastball in for a strike. Now he's kind of geared up for a fastball and he throws him a changeup down and in and he swings over it. That's pitching right there. That's using your fastball effectively and then playing off of your fastball and playing off of the hitter's aggression.
Well, he's not a strikeout pitcher by any stretch of the imagination, but when he executes his pitches like this, the reason he has 5 strikeouts in 4 innings of work. His career high in the big leagues is 6. Blanco, a wonderful play to the glove side, throws out Dendecker. Great reactions by Andres Blanco, and he just ends the 4th inning. The Mets do get a run on the RBI single by David Wright. But a little pitching and some great defense over on the right side of the diamond. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th here in Philadelphia. Visit your local Delaware Valley Honda dealer or shophonda.com. By Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by Chevrolet, visit your local dealer at chevydealer.com. HK looking down at everybody down the left field line as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's a great shot. The scoreboard in the background. Ryan Howard will lead it off. Howard pulls it right into the shift. Murphy throws him out. So a quick out on 1 pitch. And Carlos Ruiz is next up. Gosh, we've seen this game just dozens and dozens of times with Jonathan Hughes, haven't we? And just the way he pitches, just the way he's getting one ground ball out after another. One off balance out after another.
And I know he's the opponent, and I'm not supposed to root for him, and I want to let you know that I'm not rooting for him.
Don't root for him, Jamie.
But I respect and appreciate how well he's throwing the ball, just like David Buchanan. Right now, he is the bearer of the good run support of 1 run. But one run is probably not going to hold up in this game, in my opinion, today. But right now they have that 1-0 lead, and he's making it stand.
1 ball and 1 strike to Ruiz. In the dirt, 2-1.
Again, both of these guys, they don't have the electric stuff, that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. But what they do have are 4 pitches that they can use pretty much anytime they want. They have command, they change speeds, they change location, they change eye level, they get you out on your front foot, they jam you, and that's exactly what guys like this have to do to be effective at this major league level.
I think it's always impressive when you watch guys who are not overpowering at all be able to have command of the game, like both these guys are doing, like you did for a lot of your career. You just are able to place the ball where you want it to go, and as you said, change the eye level, speed the bat up, slow it down, all those kind of things.
Well, you realize that if you want to stay at this level and compete at this level, be consistent at this level, be effective at this level, that's what you have to do. And when you don't do it, it's quite evident, because you just have a bad day. You don't get out of the 2nd inning, or you're forced to throw a lot of pitches, and that's when, for me as a pitcher, I struggled when teams would make adjustments right along as I made adjustments, or they would take that borderline pitch away, or I didn't get the strike inside called, or I was behind in every count from the beginning. Those are the areas. If those things weren't working for me, then I was probably going to struggle.
1 ball, no strikes to Ruff. 2-0.
And believe me, I had plenty of days where I struggled. But to me, as I grew older and matured in this game, I realized that instead of taking that bad day as a negative, let's pull something positive out. Maybe try to figure out why I struggled, understand why I struggled, and learn from it and become better from it.
That ball's hit well out towards center field. Nagara's on the run. Out toward the track. It is gone! Deep into the bushes by Darren Ruff. A 2-run dead center field home run. It's 2-1 Phillies.
I told you 1 run wasn't going to stand in this game.
Prophetic. Darren Ruff just made a winner out of Tim Kinsella of Denver, New Jersey. And he's given the Phillies the lead. Look how that one was right on the sweet spot of the bat.
Yeah, Darren Ruff got a good part of the bat on this and really put a charge into that ball. And pretty much easily cleared that 401 sign in center field.
Easily cleared it. There's Blanco, hits it to third. Second home run for Darren Ruff. Now time to tweet your photo using hashtag PhillyFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. That's good to see for Darren. Really is. You know, Phillies have been desperate to find some additional pop, I think, in this lineup for a good part of this year. One ball and no strikes to Ashe.
No, I like seeing Darren Ruff do that as well, Tom. And I think, you know, that he's hitting in the bottom, towards the bottom of the order today. I think that's really nice for the bottom of the order. It's great for Darren Ruff. But now I'm really anxious to see how David Buchanan is going to respond to the one-run lead here going into the 5th inning. Or at least a one-run lead.
Called strike 3. Fastball at 88 miles an hour. Phillies take the lead in this inning. Darren Ruff right to center field. Seemed like he knew it as soon as he left the bat. Sounded really good. Jonathan Neese, they didn't like it. But that's okay as we go to the 5th. Walp a camera to roam around the ballpark, and he'll find everything. This is up in the press box as soon as you come out of the elevators. These are the winners of the Ford C. Frick Award and also the J.G. Taylor Sprink Award for Outstanding Sports Writing. Paul Hagan, inducted in 2013 into the writers' wing of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Tim McCarver, who obviously began his broadcasting career with the Phillies, is up on the wall. HK's 2002 Ford C. Frick Award is out there as well. And that is a ball down the left field line. It's just foul, and it's 1 ball or no balls and 1 strike. If you ever get a chance to take a tour of Citizens Bank Park, one of the beauty parts of it is coming up to our area up here in the press box. You know, for a lot of people, the press box, and before this ballpark opened and some of the newer ones, this was the case. Press box felt like wood and steel. It didn't feel like an office or feel as comfortable as this one does. I mean, it's just a great place. Chopper back toward the middle. Rollins bare hands, throws in time. It's been a long time since we've seen Jimmy Rollins have to make a play like that with the bare hands. 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
It was a great play. That ball was slowing down. It almost seemed like once it got over the mound, it really died. Jimmy came in and had the wherewithal to come up to that ball and barehand it and pick it up cleanly and make the throw. I believe it's probably the only play he may have had.
I agree. Right there is where it seemed like it just died.
Well, I think it's soft in front of home plate. It's wet in front of home plate. It hit. It took that big hop, and then after it hit the grass, it had nothing left.
Anthony Recker, Ashley to his left, 2 outs. You like this response so far from David Buchanan?
3 pitches, 2 outs. Who wouldn't?
Seven ground ball outs for David Buchanan. And Jonathan Neese will be the hitter.
And this type of pitching is what's going to keep David Buchanan around for a long time. The only other thing that he's going to have to figure out or learn is the durability part. You know, making it through a full season, and obviously he stays healthy here. He'll get through a full season, a full baseball season, but getting through a full major league season, year after year after year, that's to me that's the next big step for a young kid once they establish themselves as a major league pitcher.
Yeah, last year he threw 169 and 2/3 innings combined between AA and AAA. This year, not counting today's out, although you can count today's outing. He's at 70 innings today here in the big leagues, 57 in the minor leagues, so he's at about 127 innings.
So yeah, I mean, you figure he's going to get what, 7-8 more starts this season. Where'd you say he was this year? Oh, he's 70 here, 7-8 more starts. Just say he gets another 50 innings here. That's 120. And where was he in the minor leagues?
He is 57 in the minor leagues.
57. It's 170, approximately 180 innings.
So that's a progression from last year.
It is a little bit of a progression, and you're doing it at 2 levels. And you're doing it at the AAA level, and you're doing it at the major league level.
After the base hit by Neese, Granderson's up. He's 0 for 2. So here we go. Third time through the order for Buchanan. They throw behind Neese, who just gets back. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Granderson. Chopper left side. Ashe shaded that way, acting as the shortstop. Side is retired. 8 ground ball outs for David Buchanan. No runs, 1 hit. 1 man left. It started with an outstanding play by Jimmy Rollins. answer. All right, Jamie, what former Met had a hit in 2 different cities for 2 different teams on the same day on August 4th, 1982?
I am going to take the wildest shot in the dark right here. This is just a name. I don't even know why it came to me. Okay?
Yeah.
I am going to say Joel Youngblood.
Joel Youngblood is correct. Did you face him? You asked if you had faced this guy.
I don't recall ever facing him.
You got to the big leagues in '86. I think he was still around by then.
I do, yeah. But I've been thinking and thinking and thinking.
How about this, though? How about who he got the hits against? I didn't remember the first one. I knew it was Steve Carlton, the second one, because he was with Montreal in the second game, the night game. And he was with the Mets in the day game at Chicago. He got a 2-run single against Fergie Jenkins.
Wow.
So a 2-run single against Fergie Jenkins, and then an RBI, or then a single against Carlton up the middle in the Phillies game. He was a lifetime .329 hitter against Steve Carlton.
There was one of those guys.
Yeah,
I remember I talked about Randy Johnson and Chris Hoyles and Jeff Rebele.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably Steve Carlton's Jeff Rebele.
Note to self. Do not bring up Joel Youngblood's name to Steve Carlton when you see him.
Oh, I'm going to
Okay.
when I see him next time. Just
go
see if he has any recall.
Joel Youngblood was a good hitter.
Yeah.
But just say, hey, Joel Youngblood? Really? Youngblood, by the way, was 1 for 6 in 9 plate appearances against you.
Huh. I don't recall facing him.
Inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Buchanan take it all the way. 3-1. Buchanan works on a walk. He hesitated just a moment. 6-pitch at bat. And he's aboard to start the bottom of the 5th inning. And that'll bring Ben Revere to the plate.
As a pitcher, you're just cringing inside after you do that.
Would you prefer to give up a hit?
No.
Okay.
Neither.
Yeah. Revere singled, an infield single his last time up.
Pitcher's supposed to be an out.
I can see that where that would bother you.
It's kind of like a layup in basketball.
Well, those have been missed too before.
I get it, but the percentages are pretty good that you're going to make that layup.
Now it's pulled towards second. That might be 2. There's 1. Well, it was hit so sharply. 4-6-3 double play, and there are 2 outs here in the 5th.
Well, give him credit for rallying after walking the pitcher and throwing Ben 3 consecutive curveballs and getting him to hit into a double play. That's not an easy task.
Yeah, more and more we're seeing the curveballs against Ben Revere, the soft stuff. I mean, he's still picking up his hits.
Well, we're not talking about just a flip me up there curveball. It's a curveball with some depth to it.
Seven ground ball outs for Nice. Eight ground ball outs for Buchanan. Inside 2-0 to Rollins. think we have found something that is a little different today with Jonathan Neese than in past games. A lot of this game is a carbon copy, but I think he's thrown more balls in this game than some of the others we've seen. You know, more 3-ball counts, a little deeper counts. The splits aren't really the same.
He's really struggled with his changeup today. He hasn't thrown a changeup for a strike for me yet. I may have missed a couple, but
that's pulled foul.
The ones I've recorded, he hasn't thrown one for a strike. And you kind of see that the last one he threw to Jimmy Rollins, he went a cutter, changeup. He kind of runs away from it. He doesn't stay through it like he does his fastball.
Chopper back to the mound. Rollins will be tired for the second time today by Neese. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We'll go to the 6th inning. Phillies hanging on to a 1-run lead over New York. Is the winningest manager in franchise history. Charlie Manuel arrived in Philadelphia in 2005 and over the next 9 seasons accumulated 780 wins, 5 consecutive division titles, 2 National League pennants, and the organization's 2nd World Series championship. The 70-year-old from West Virginia had a major impact during his run in Philadelphia. And now the skipper during the best era of Phillies baseball is a permanent fixture on the club's Wall of Fame. Charlie's special honor is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Yeah, we always hear about Charlie Manuel being from Virginia, which is where he grew up, Virginia. But he was born in West Virginia, as Pat Gillick reminded us the other day. Daniel Murphy leads it off here in the top of the 6th inning. Murphy doubled and scored the only run for New York in a 2-1 game. That one's fouled down the left field line. 1 ball, 1 strike. That double by Murphy was his 33rd of the year. He has 146 hits. Got a chance to get 200 hits. Only 2 other Mets have recorded 200 hits in a season. 3-1. I would think for a hitter, that's one of those numbers that if you can accomplish it, then you feel like you've done something pretty special during a baseball season.
You're darn tootin'. 200 hits? Oh, that's heroic. On a team, you know, when you think you got a teammate that, you know, and I'm fortunate I saw that happen with Ichiro in my career. That was pretty special.
It was probably old hat for him.
Every time you look up, the guy's standing on base.
4-3 on the putout. 1 away. Well, there's a great story that's unfolding here in the city of Philadelphia. And it doesn't have anything to do with professional athletes, Murph. And I watched the game last night against Newark, Delaware, and Newark had a great run for a second straight year. But there's something special brewing here in Philadelphia.
No doubt about it. We have to send out congratulations to the Taney Dragons, who are headed to Williamsport, the Little League World Series. I believe it's the first team from Philadelphia in over 40 years to get to Williamsport to represent Philadelphia in the Mid-Atlantic in the Little League World Series. And it really is a great story. You know, it's a collection of kids from really like Center City and Southwest Philadelphia, and they play their games up there on Taney Avenue, which is the name of the boys' club, or Taney Street, 26th and Lombard, up in that area. And they've just kind of run their way through the Mid-Atlantic division, and now we're going to represent that area in Williamsport. It's a very, very cool story, guys.
Great story, and Monet Davis is kind of taken the country now by storm. This very talented 13-year-old young girl who threw a 3-hitter yesterday to beat Newark, and Newark was a very good team, as we said, and just is really taking Little League by storm. She's the second. She'll be one of 2 girls to be at Williamsport this week.
Yeah, it's impressive. And Tom, we should mention that today's 50-50 here at the ballpark. The money that is raised today is going to go to their travel fund to help them pay for their trip to Williamsport, because it is expensive. And so the money here raised here at Citizens Bank Park today in the 50-50 will help them.
Well, a great experience, a lifetime of memories, and we'll keep you updated. They're playing this Friday, so we'll make sure we keep you updated, and we'll keep you updated on the number as well. Event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. Buy McDonald's. Any size hot or iced coffee is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And buy the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Bottom of the 6th, Phillies 2, Mets 1. Marlon Byrd will lead it off. There are the different stands around the ballpark where the 50-50 is being sold. We've already got a jump at about $500 since we last showed you that number. It's a great thing the Phillies started doing last year, where they give certain organizations an opportunity to sell 50-50s at the ballpark. And then one lucky fan gets half the pot, and the organization gets part of the other one. 2 balls and no strikes. Marlon Byrd is 0 for 2. He is struck out. He's flied out.
One time we were talking about Jonathan Neese and his changeup last inning. He doesn't really throw his changeup a great deal, and it's really surprising for me with the style of pitcher that he is, that he hasn't refined that pitch for himself. I think it would take him a lot further as a pitcher, and it would take him a lot further into the game. He only throws it about 7% of the time.
Out towards center field. there's a cutter. Tonight at 6:30 and 11, get all the highlights from Alumni Weekend, including the Wall of Fame induction ceremony and interviews with Charlie Manuel and Roy Halladay on Phillies Clubhouse, presented by Mercedes-Benz on Comcast Sportsnet. It's amazing that 50-50 is up $1,000 since we last showed it. Not that we're doing anything for it, but it's a great thing. Nice opportunities for Phillies charities to garner some of the money and then it be dispersed to different organizations around the Delaware Valley. They do such great work. No balls and 1 strike to Ryan Howard. Howard is 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out. At the plate. Oh, man. Popped the helmet right off. And Ryan looks like he's okay. Nice just said something to him. Scott Sheridan's going to meet him at first base. Ryan just waves him off. Said it hit him in the shoulder and then deflected into the helmet. So you just look at it from behind and you think, man, it hit him right square in the helmet, but he just signaled hit him in the shoulder. Still hit him in the shoulder pretty sharp.
It hit him in the shoulder, and I think when he flipped his head back, his helmet came off. So fortunately, it hit him in the shoulder, and he didn't get hit in the neck or the head. It's not a good feeling as a pitcher. I can't believe I haven't hit anybody in the head, but I've been close, and it's not a good feeling.
Ruiz just walked and flied out.
You're almost hesitant on throwing this next pitch.
I would think that, and I've never done it, but you try to guide it even more.
Exactly.
Inside 1-2.
Looks like they're trying to stay in the top of the zone with Carlos. It almost looks like his swing has a little bit of a loop in it right now.
Yeah, Carlos down looking on strikes. Mark Wagner delayed his call just a little bit. It looked like a pretty good pitch. I think he just fooled Carlos on it. I think Carlos may have thought it was low. Jimmy, what do you think?
Yeah, I do think he thought it was low, but it was right across his knees, and Mark thought it was a strike, so he called it a strike.
Mark Wagner is the crew chief today. He's behind home plate.
I'm sure they'll talk about it next inning.
Andy Fletcher's over at first. Andy's taking over for Mike Winters, who's on vacation now. Mike Malinsky is at second. Tom Woodring over at third. Woodring did a nice job behind the plate yesterday. The young umpire, and I say that only because we didn't really talk about him. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ruff. After the game yesterday, the Mets still thought that Cody Ashe's ball that he hit in the 9th inning was a foul ball. Terry Collins, see where he sent in there. That's where he was. And he thought he had a good look at it. He wanted the first base umpire at the time, Mark Wagner, to at least ask Tom Woodring, the home plate umpire, for some assistance. We had a great camera shot of it, and it looked like it went over the bag. Now, it did hook. This is our camera shot of it. I mean, this is as good as it gets as far as a camera. It looks like it's over the bag. Now, it looks like it's over the right side of the bag, but it still looked like it was over the bag.
If you follow the shadow of the ball, you see the shadow of the ball there?
Yeah.
The shadow of the ball was in foul territory because of where the sun was.
Oh, man.
How about that?
I didn't see that. I was looking at the white part of the ball. I wasn't looking at the dark part of it.
I just happened to see the shadow right there.
Swing and a miss. Ruff is struck out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jonathan Neese. No runs, no hits. One man left for the Phils. We've played 6. Ryan Howard looks to be okay and ready to go back to work. Time now for your local Honda dealers game summary. Not a lot of offense. The Phillies got 2 in the 4th inning on the home run by Darren Ruff. David Buchanan has done an excellent job through 6 innings so far. 5 strikeouts. He's allowed just 3 hits. He's also had a bunch of ground ball outs. In fact, he's had 11 ground ball outs so far. First pitch to Juan Lagares is over for a strike. It's 0-1. Lagares is 0 for 1. He struck out in the 4th. But by a pitch in the 2nd. Those 2 close pitches right there. The curveball, and then he comes back with a cutter. Freitas and Diekman here in the 7th inning. This is only the 88th pitch that's coming from David Buchanan. He had an 8-pitch 6th inning against the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Mets. Well, he's wanted a couple of these pitches that are close. That one may have been a little off the plate.
That was a cutter that was supposed to be off of his hip. It looked like it backed up a little bit.
And down and away, ball 4. These lucky fans are today's Citizen 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal, and that's helping you bank better. Good banking is good citizenship. That Dendecker's grounded out to second twice. The last one was a heck of a play by Andres Blanco.
David may have lost his edge here a little bit. Fell behind the first 2 hitters of this inning. The first one led to a walk. Ideally here you're looking to try to get yourself a ground ball double play.
Well, ground ball has certainly been a storyline for him today.
But keeping an eye on Lagares over at first base is important as well. You don't want to allow him to get to second base before you get through this hitter.
He has stolen a base today. He has a short lead right now. Breaking ball. Ripped foul. That one's ripped toward right center field. Marlon Byrd going to try to cut it off. He won't be able to. Lagares on his way to third. He's being waved home. And Dendecker has an RBI double. And we're tied up at 2.
Now it looks like a cutter that didn't get in. Was slightly up. And that's a good spot for a left-handed hitter to want the ball. Dendecker drove that ball very well to right center field for a double.
Well, both pitchers have been warming up in the bullpen. Both are ready if Ryan Sandberg wants to go to him. And here comes Sandberg. Wilmer Flores is the batter. So you would think they'd go, well, they could go to either one of them. Diekman can get righties out. And they're going to go to DeFreitas. So they're not going to allow Buchanan to continue on here in the 7th inning. It's a 2-2 game. Runner at second is his responsibility. We'll be back after this. Sports Service. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit Phillies.com for details. Top of the 7th inning. It's the Diamond Club here at Citizens Bank Park, which is just behind home plate. That's where we had Charlie Manuel's luncheon the other day. It was a great event. Justin DeFreitas into his 39th game, 2-1 at a 2.52 ERA. The runner at second base is David Buchanan's responsibility. David walked the leadoff batter, and he came around to score. Now the double by Dendecker puts the go-ahead run in scoring position for Flores. Flores shoots it the other way. It'll be a base hit. Dendecker's going to hold up at third. He froze for a moment. Well, we take a look at our Mazda leaders in the month of August. The Phillies have found themselves on the National League leader board at 3.10. Part of that is because of the success they've had here at home over the last several games. And David Buchanan's hoping that they'll have a little more success. They've allowed just one earned run in their last 24 2/3 innings. And since the 5th of August, the Phillies bullpen has a 0.36 ERA. His record takes low. Phillies are conceding the run here for a double play. DeFreitas throws the slider and he gets the strike. It's 3-1. Anthony Recker 0 for 2 today out of Alvernia. Grew up an A's fan because he was a Mark McGwire fan, even though he grew up in the Phillies territory. 3-1 pitch coming to Recker, and he pops it foul. It's 3-2. When McGwire went to the Cardinals, Recker became a Cardinals fan. Said he never liked the Phillies when he was growing up, even though he was supposed to. I guess territorial. Yeah, he was supposed to, but DeFreitas would love a strikeout here. Now that Diekman will probably come on to face Neuenhuis because Granderson's up after Neuenhuis. You got Dendecker over at third and Flores at first in a 2-2 game. Now the 3-2 pitch coming. Chopper foul over the head of Dendecker. The Mets have been a little more patient hitters in this inning, at least, considering the walk. And then this 3-2 count here, although I guess you can't say that about Wilmer Flores because he swung at the first pitch and shot it the other way against DeFreitas. Oh, man, that ball is crushed deep to left field. A 3-run home run. It's 5-2 New York. Well, so much for an 0 for August for Anthony Recker. He had been 0 for his last 18, and he just blasted the Mets into the lead here in the 7th inning. Well, that was a no doubt about it home run.
Slider, just a flat slider, and that allows them to leave, the Mets to leave Jonathan Neese in the game. They're hoping to get another inning out of him.
Well, Neese grounds it out to second, so this will be the first out of the inning. Curtis Granderson looks over to the Phillies dugout before he walks to the plate. They have Diekman loosening up in the pen. You got Granderson and then Murphy. I will think you go to Diekman here, but we'll see. Nope, they're going to see if they can get through this inning with Justin DeFreitas. Well, right now, David Buchanan's on the losing side of this game. He pitched very well. He's charged with 3 earned runs. And the only walk was the walk here in the 7th inning.
I'm sure that's the biggest thing eating at him right now.
Outside 2-0. Fly ball center field. Revere has a beat on it. 2 outs. Well, Jamie, you wanted some runs early and not wait till the 9th inning. Phillies are going to have to wait till 7th, 8th, or 9th inning to come from behind here today. They certainly have shown that they have it in them. Daniel Murphy is coming up. And a liner out toward left center field. That'll drop in front of Revere. A base hit. The second hit of the day for Murphy. So the Mets now have sent 8 men to the plate. The scoring, you get an RBI double by Dendecker, but a 3-run home run by Recker. His first hit since the 13th of July. It's been nearly a month since he picked up a hit. He said he was 0 for his previous 18.
Now that ball was kind of on a tee.
Oh man,
he hit.
That's one of the longer home runs you're going to see hit to left center field. I mean, there are not that many that go 4 rows from the back of that section there. 3 rows, 4 rows, you know, whatever it is, that was deep. Oh, and 1 to right. Tell you one thing, that 3-run home run has quieted the crowd.
Justin looks like he's a little bit off today. Pulling his fastball across the plate, also pulling the slider across the plate as well.
Yeah, that slider he's generally had great command of. 2-1 the count to right. Pops it up foul. It'll be out of play. 2-2. Phillies on the bottom third of the order coming up in their half of the 7th inning. Trailing it by 3 at least at this point. And now the 2-2 pitch. Off the end of the bat, back toward the middle. Rollins has it, hurries the throw in time to get right. Ball was not hit that sharply. That's a good play by Jimmy Rollins. But 8 men come to the plate of the inning for the Mets. They score 4 runs. They've taken a 5-2 lead as we stretch here in Philadelphia. The Phillies trail it now 5-2. And Andres Blanco will lead it off for Philadelphia. As promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. This is Mila getting a chance to enjoy her first Phillies game. Hello, Mila. Mila in a tutu. Tweet your photo to hashtag Philly fan photo for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. All right, so the Phillies will continue to face Jonathan Neese here. And that's because they took the lead, have the luxury of not going to the bullpen just yet. The estimated distance on Recker's ball to left center field, 424 feet. Blanco shows bunt, takes a strike, 2-1. That ball was, as Jamie said, was kind of sitting on a tee. I mean, that's a big man, and he just crushed it. But still plenty of time for the Phils. Out towards center field. And Cody Ashley will come up. Dominic Brown's come out in the on-deck circle to pinch hit for DeFreitas. She's 0 for 2. He's grounded out. He's also struck out. Phillies will head to Anaheim after this ball game. They start a series tomorrow night against the Angels. The Angels are not playing today. C.J. Wilson will start for Anaheim tomorrow. The Phillies have TBD. as she lifts it to right center. It's not deep. Long run for everyone involved. Lagares, though, makes the catch. 2 outs. This is the only day game going on around Major League Baseball. 2 National League night games. The Dodgers are in Atlanta after the Braves played the Nationals last night in the Sunday night ball game. And Atlanta won that one to pull it within 3.5. And Miami is hosting St. Louis. Shelby Miller against Tom Kohler. By the way, Kevin Correa, who was just picked up by the Dodgers, will start today. Dominic Brown off the bench, and he hits that one on 1 hop to the scoreboard. Yeah, Dominic in with a 2-out pinch hit double. So he's in scoring position, and Ben Revere is coming up. How many starting pitchers do you think the Dodgers need?
Well, from the looks of it, they only need 1. Too bad he can't pitch every day. Clayton Kershaw.
Well, that is true. That is true.
They've, the back end of their rotation has really been riddled by a lot of injuries, nagging injuries, and not just this year, the last couple years.
Revere takes a strike. It's 0-1. Well, they must have a bottomless pit of prospects because, they've traded a lot of guys the last couple years.
I think the pitching prospects are on the younger side.
No balls and 1 strike to Revere. Breaking ball, 1-1. The starter now throwing in the pen to the Phils. And not Diekman. Back toward the middle, a base hit. Brown around third. He's being waved home. Lagares has a good arm. It's offline. Recker's got it. And Brown is out at home plate. (8-2) on the putout. Lagares, if he does one thing exceptionally well, is that he can charge and throw with the best of them. And he cut off a lot of real estate with his legs before he cut down Dominic Brown with his arm. But Lagares charges better than any center fielder I think we've seen.
Watch this as he's coming to the ball. Look how hard he's coming. And then look at the ground he covers after he picks up the ball. The momentum he's created with his body. And then he's got a strong arm on top of it and makes a very accurate throw to the plate. He's just picking up the ball as Dominic's getting to the bag. And even though his throw's offline a little bit, he got it there quick enough to make it somewhat of an easy play.
It was honestly surprisingly easy. Dominic was hustling the whole way.
That is our Hyundai defensive play of the game.
8-2 on the putout. could always play Monday morning quarterback and say in hindsight, you know, Pete Buchanan should have held him at third. It looked like he was debating whether to send him or hold him. Well, Lagares, well, I have to admit, you know, we've heard this from the Mets folks, from Terry Collins, from their broadcasting crew about how he charged. They said, wait till you see how he charges the ball. And I kept saying to them, well, we haven't really seen him have that opportunity yet, but that's what they're talking about right there, just his aggressiveness going after the ball.
Well, and with 2 outs, you know, you're really trying to, your secondary lead, you should be eating up a lot of ground, and on contact, the ball, I wasn't say right at Dominic, but it was to his left. He knew it was going to be up the middle. You know, put your head down and, you know, head for the hills.
Well, here's Lucas Duda, and Duda takes a strike. It's 0-1.
You just watch the ground that he picks up. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 steps into his crow hop, and then he makes the throw.
Yeah, I mean the throw was indeed off the line, but it had so much on it that Recker had so much time to get to it, go to it, and even reach back. Boy. No, in hindsight, you look at it there, you think, all right, maybe you hold them and have runners on first and third for Rollins.
Now, think how happy Terry Collins is now. He got his starter through another inning. He takes an inning away from the bullpen, and now he's only got to worry about 2 innings at the back of the game instead of 3.
In the dirt, 2-2. By the way, it may have been second and third, because if that throw had gone through, so Revere was moving. He was on his way to second base, so it would have been second and third. But Juan Lagares made sure that it wasn't. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Duda. Duda's 0 for 3, has struck out twice, grounded out. Swing and a miss, 1 away.
Get out of here. Go home.
So Bastardo gets a strikeout to start the 8th inning. And with 1 out, Lagares coming up. It's time for the Major League Notebook. Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. Brought to you by Gwinnett Mercy University. And the Blue Jays and Tigers played a historic game on Sunday in Toronto. 19-inning affair. It was the longest game in Toronto franchise history. Jose Bautista singled in the 19th. He had been 0 for 7, but he singled in the 19th for the walk-off. And get this, Melky Cabrera got on base 8 times in that game, 5 walks and 3 hits for him. And how about this, Yoenis Cespedes, a day after the Red Sox played a 19-inning affair. He walked up the Red Sox yesterday, a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning for their win. They had played 6.5 hours game the night before that 19-inning game. And get this, guys, the last time that Major League Baseball had 2 19-inning games in the same month was back in 1985. And we've had 2 in 2 days here in 2014. Unbelievable stuff.
I think, well, we've played a lot of extra inning games, so we can honestly say there seems to be more extra inning games here in 2014.
It certainly does feel that way.
1 ball and 1 strike to Lagares. Popped him up. Ruiz off of the mask, back to the screen.
Shoot.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. A little high heat from Bastardo. Back-to-back strikeouts. 2 outs here in the 8th. Buddy Carlisle and Dana Eveland are the pitchers warming up for New York. It's interesting that Familia sat down after warming up.
Maybe they were just looking to see if he could throw today.
That could be it. That does happen, particularly with day games. Although I saw them throwing down the left field line. I was down in the Mets clubhouse today, and Dan Worthen was down there, and he was preparing to go out and watch the pitchers throw. One ball and no strikes to Dendecker. Two balls and 2 strikes. The ball, I think, got Ruiz in the chops. Just a bit inside and low, 3-2. Wilmer Flores is on deck. And ball 4. So Dendecker draws a 2-out walk. And Wilmer Flores is coming up. Next time you're looking to pick up great seats to the game, head to StubHub, where you can earn 2% back in fan rewards on every purchase, including Phillies tickets. StubHub, your ticket to upgrades and much more. Wilmer Flores singled his last time up. That was part of the 4-run 7th inning for the Mets. Mets will head home after this game, while the Phillies head out west. One of 2 West Coast trips still for the Phils. Fastball a little high. It's 1-0.
Record.
Off to the right, not a play. Hey, how about this note in the front page of the Phillies game notes today? Today, back in 1994, was the last game of the season because the players' strike in '94 took place right after that. Think about that. 1994, 20 years ago. You think about the labor piece that is now part of baseball instead of what happened back then. Darren Ruff into the alley is under it. It's not that deep. He puts it away. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Jimmy Rollins, Marlon Byrd, Ryan Howard. Get to your local Nissan store for the ride of your life and save big today. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Go further. Well, today's giveaway was the Pride of the Phillies print. And it was Jimmy Rollins after he collected his the base hit that gave him the all-time franchise lead, passing Mike Schmidt. What's turned out to be a very nice day here in Philadelphia, a warm day. Ruben Tejada, we haven't seen him during this series, will take over at shortstop. Tejada takes over at short. And Buddy Carlisle will be the new pitcher for the Mets. This is his 11th ball game. And Jimmy Rollins will lead it off for the Phillies. Rollins is 0 for 3. Rollins takes outside. It's 1-0. This is usually the spot for Juris Familia. We mentioned, though, there are times where guys throw when they're warming up for the first time and they realize they can't go. Unless he's going to pitch the ninth and Mejia can't go. Mejia was warming up, though, warming his arm up. That's a fair ball. And Duda will take care of Rollins, 3 unassisted. Now Marlon Byrd is 0 for 3. Marlon is flied out to left, fly to center. There's Mejia. He was sort of stretching his arm out with, I guess it was a weighted ball or a softball. Yeah, it was one of those weighted balls. You can see it sitting on the bench before. Marlon takes a strike. It's 0-1. Ground ball to second. Well, Carlisle's made these first 2 batters look very easy to get. And that'll bring Ryan Howard to the plate. If you're 30 years old or older, it's your chance for a lifetime. Phillies Fantasy Camp, January 21st to the 25th of next year in Clearwater, Florida. The package includes hotel accommodations, practice with, and instruction from guys like Greg Lazinski, John Kruk, Mickey Morandini, Mike Lieberthal, Bob Boone, and the Commissioner Larry Anderson. Tickets or spots can be reserved by calling 610-520-3400. Here's Howard. He's 0 for 2. Jamie, between Jonathan Neese and Buddy Carlisle, they're making it look easy right now all of a sudden.
They sure are. As we talk about all the time, when it does look easy from the pitching perspective, it's usually because of execution of pitches.
By the way, I think we have found our winner in the deepest a shortstop is going to play in the shift for Ryan Howard. Ruben Tejada. Look where he is playing. I mean, Daniel Murphy, we expect that. We expect him to be playing there, but look where Ruben Tejada is playing.
Give the second base umpire glove and have a team out there.
And if Ryan had any speed at all, if he laid down a bunt anywhere, left side, right side, up and in, 2-1.
Well, if he were ever going to bunt, here's the time to do it because his run really doesn't mean a whole lot. You know, you're just looking for guys to get on base.
Look where he's playing.
Well, my thinking is almost right because you think of the 2 balls he's hit in this series that have been to the left of that person playing there, just out of their reach. With him playing back further, it gives him more time to get to that ball, and he's able to hit them.
And he's got a shortstop's arm, so he feels like he can make that throw without a problem. Two balls and 2 strikes to Howard. Off the hands, a bloop to center field. Lagares comes in, and he's not going to get it. Well, maybe they should have put David Wright out there. A 2-out single. And it'll bring Ruiz to the plate. Ruiz is 0 for 2. He's walked and scored. He scored on Ruff's home run. Here comes Terry Collins. Well, maybe Familia is okay. He's throwing right now. They're going to bring him in. This is kind of strange. So Terry Collins will make the pitching change. He'll exchange one right-hander for another right-hander. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 5-2 ball game. We'll be back with the particulars on Familia right after this. Against the Seattle Mariners, and after the ball game, it's the Modell Sporting Goods Kids Run the Bases for fans 14 and under. You can order your tickets by going to Phillies.com. You can stop by Modell's. Maybe they have a Pete or a Maury Telemaco jersey still hanging on. So that's the thing about baseball. You can attach yourself to the player who doesn't play barely at all, and he could be your favorite. You get a Pete Orr and a Maury Telemaco fan there, Jamie. That's
I like
a diehard.
Yeah, I like it.
Some people are probably sitting there thinking, I didn't even remember what number Pete Orr or Maury Telemaco wore. Here's Jeurys Familia. Sorry, you got to get an explanation on this one, why he didn't start the 8th inning?
I really don't know, Tom.
Okay. Carlos Ruiz is the batter. Maybe the thought is that he's going to pitch the 8th and 9th and get 4 outs. Maybe Mejia is not available. Maybe the thought is he only has enough to get one guy. Swing and a miss, 0-2 to Carlos.
Well, you would think if Mejia was going to come in the game, he would at least be stirring around out in the bullpen.
Yeah, he's not stirring.
He's got that sweatshirt on, and he looks quite dormant.
Almost 90 degrees, and he's got that sweatshirt on. Oh, 2 pitch coming. Swing and a miss, 3 pitches, and that's it for the Phils here in the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. On to the 9th inning. The final game of this 4-game series in this homestand, the Phillies trail the Mets 5-2. W.B. Mason delivery of the game. 7th inning. This was a big old delivery.
Yeah, here's a hanging slider from DeFreitas, and Anthony Recker deposits it deeply into the left field seats for a 3-run home run to kind of put an exclamation point on the Mets scoring today, and that is our W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
Well, top of the 9th inning, bongo camp going on here at Citizens Bank Park. It's always a crowd favorite. Here's Cesar Jimenez. Jimenez in his 6th ball game. 6 in the 3rd. 1 strikeout. Well, it looks like at least at this point it will be Familia that's pitching the 9th inning. Terry Collins told everybody yesterday that Mejia is pitching with a sports hernia, but won't have the surgery till the end of the year, that he'll still manage his way through this season. He gave up the runs yesterday against the Phillies. He blew that save, so maybe they decided to give him today off. Here's Recker. He's the reason why the Mets lead at 5-2 with that long home run. Recker's 1 for 3. It was his first hit since the 13th of July. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Another soft one. It's 1-2. Phillies in their half of the 9th inning will have Ruff, Blanco, and Ashe. Those are the scheduled hitters. Trying to keep this at a 3-run deficit. What the heck? Came from behind, down 6-1 yesterday. They were down 5-1 earlier in this homestand. So 5-2 is nothing. And Recker is struck out.
Get out of here.
Every time the Phillies pitchers retire, the opposition 1-2-3. Comcast will make a donation to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. There's Ruben Tejada. He came in as part of the double switch. It'll be Tejada, then Curtis Granderson here in the 9th inning. Has to be something that he's doing that's hiding the ball, because I mean, he'll get hit from time to time, but they're just not getting good swings on him, at least these first 2 hitters.
Well, for me, it's how the ball's coming out of his hand. It looks the same, because you're getting the same swing from the hitter, whether it's a fastball or a changeup.
In the dirt, 2-2. Off the end of the bat. And Tejada stays alive. far as the National League East goes, Washington leads the Braves by 3.5 games. It's still been the same sort of stagnant National League East over the last 10 games. The Phillies have the best record in the East over the last 10. Then Washington. Atlanta's 2-8 over the last 10, including their win last night. Over in the Central, Milwaukee leads the Cardinals by 2, Pittsburgh by 2.5. And in the West, the Dodgers lead is up to 4.5 over San Francisco. Giants have lost 4 straight.
I think Atlanta's going to have one more push in them, but I think they're going to fall short.
Yeah, they're just a streaky team. Yeah, they are. I think it's partly because their players are streaky. Their hitters are streaky. Well, will that push give them enough to win the wild card? If they don't win the division, we'll see. It's 3-2 now to Tejada with Granderson on deck. Fly ball, shallow right field. Marlon Byrd comes meandering in. And that puts the second out on the board. A 10-pitch at bat. And Granderson is due up. Yeah, it's a lazy, hot afternoon. Dad's hat may not be that comfortable, but at this point, anywhere to lay her head may put her to sleep. Granderson takes a strike, 0-1. Ryan Howard has this one. The Phillies will have one more chance in the bottom of the 9th inning. They're down by 3. That hasn't really made a difference at times on this homestand. Let's see if they can come through again here. Down 5-2. The 9th inning. On Monday, August 25th, the Phillies will see the Washington Nationals one last time here at Citizens Bank Park. It'll be a 3-game series. All 3 games are night games. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. It is Rally Cap time as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rally Caps have worked a couple different times on this homestand. And Jeurys Familia, who got the last out of the 8th inning, is going to try to save this ball game for the Mets. Familia was put in this spot to close the game out in the 11th inning on Saturday night. And did allow a couple base runners. Here's Grady Sizemore. Sizemore will pinch it for Darren Ruff. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Ruff has provided the only offense today, a 2-run home run.
Andres Blanco, I love you.
0-2. I guess the thought is Sizemore, left-handed batter instead of the righty Ruff. The way Familia's pitches dart away from the right-handed hitters. Get a base runner, start the rally here in the 9th inning.
Well, in this situation, you need base runners. A solo home run puts you 1 run closer, but doesn't give you the base runners that you need to create that momentum.
Well, Sizemore is struck out, so 1 out here in the 9th inning. And Andres Blanco's coming up. I guess the assumption is they'll save Chase Utley if they have an opportunity to pop one out of here to tie the ball game up. They've used Dominic Brown, and now they've used Sizemore. They have Reed Brignac, Utley, and then the backup catcher Will Nieves available. Blanco is 1 for 3. Down and away, 1-0. She wants to go. She doesn't want to sit still. A strike dropped by Records, 2-1. Guess the ball just squirted out of his glove.
It looked like he had to reach back for it a little bit.
Ground ball to first. And Duda will take it to the bag. 2 outs. Coming up after the ballgame, Ricky Metallico will break down today's game, included in that breakdown of David Buchanan, who pitched well for 6 innings, then walked the leadoff batter in the 7th. And the Mets wound up scoring 4 runs. Only on Pure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Post-Game Live. But even beyond that, the Phillies offense has managed just 2 runs in the 4th inning. And since the 4th, they've had 3 hits. They've had some other base runners, but just 3 hits. Overall, they've been held to 6 hits today. 1 ball and no strikes to Ashe.
Please, Chase, I'll be so happy. It's my birthday. It's my cousin's birthday, please.
Two balls and no strikes. Up high, 3-0. She take it all the way, so 3-1. Trying to get on board. Utley's on deck. He'll pinch hit for Jimenez, who pitched the scoreless top of the 9th inning. Ball 4. One base runner away from bringing the tying run to the plate. So Utley will get a chance to pinch hit here. Utley 19 career pinch hits. Of those, 5 have been home runs. He's a .287 hitter. He has 11 home runs, 62 runs batted in. Ashley not being held on at first base. Figure he'll go at some point. There he goes. Familia delivers a strike. No throw. It'll be defensive indifference. No balls in 1 strike. Utley was intentionally walked yesterday. That led to Howard becoming the hero. And now 1-2. Phillies down to their final out on this Monday afternoon. Wrapping up Alumni Weekend. Folks at Toyota sponsored this entire weekend. Part of it was Charlie Manuel's induction into the Phillies Wall of Fame. One ball, 2 strikes. In the air to right field. Granderson going back. It is off the top of the wall and back into the crowd. I believe they're going to review that one. They've scored it a home run, but I think that's going to be reviewed because it looked like a fan reached over. Right now it's a 2-run home run. It would make it 5-4, but Terry Collins is going to come out and talk to Andy Fletcher. And this will be a crew chief review. It did look like the fan reached over and brought it back. And what's going to happen is that they're going to give up the second base if they say that he did. This wouldn't have been caught by Granderson. You see, the hat was, yeah, that's definitely fan interference. I mean, you can understand a fan trying to do that because going after a baseball, everybody wants to do it. I think that ball would have stayed in the yard, Jamie. I mean, looking at it right now in the angle. So what will happen is they'll give Utley second. They'll allow Ashley to score. And it'll be a 5-3 ball game with the tying run coming to the plates. This was the reason that instant replay was originally put into effect, were these sort of boundary calls to see whether a ball was a home run or not, whether a ball was fair or foul on a home run. Utley's got his helmet on, his batting gloves on. We can never assume a definitive answer, but here's our look from that camera down the right field line. You have to decide, Jamie, whether that ball would have indeed gone over that short fence or if it would have hit the top of the short fence. I think we're both in agreement it would hit the top of the short fence.
Yes.
So I think they're going to, and they have an opportunity to look at where the base runners are. I think this one's pretty simple. They'll give the Phillies the run. They'll put Utley at second base. Granderson had no chance to record an out, so they won't award an out to the New York Mets, which they can do on certain plays. But back in New York, they'll take a look at the same replays that we have, and I think that our replays are fairly definitive on the angles that you see. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll see something different.
Yeah, I just wish with the ball in play, and it's broadcast early in the game, to not touch the ball in play. And I get it's enticing to reach over the wall and catch the ball.
You're right.
But you're here to see the game. Let the game play itself out. You don't know what can happen. That ball could have hit and Karam
could have been a triple.
Yeah.
So they're going to send Utley back to second. They're going to score the run. And although it's disappointing not to see the home run and the fans will boo, it is the right call from an umpire standpoint. A little closer look as we blow this up. You see the gentleman's arm? I think it would hit the top of the fence. I really do. Yeah, it would have hit even below the top of the fence. All right, so that means the tying run comes to the plate. It's a 5-3 ball game. A 1-minute 50-second review.
And that, the unfortunate thing about that fan leaning over, it takes some of the momentum out of this.
Slows it down a little bit.
If that was a double, fans would be on their feet. They'd be clapping. Right now, everybody's kind of sat down. They waited for the review to take place, and now it's just play resuming. And it's there's 2 outs in the 9th inning with a man on second, and the tying run at the plate.
Well, let's see if Revere can move Utley. Ben has 1 career home run, so his thought is to maybe keep this inning going here. He's 2 for 4 in today's game. And he's now down in the count 0-2. Utley was at 1-2.
Although we did get to hear the bell go off.
The bell did go. You have to follow through with everything, Jimmy. You have to. No balls and 2 strikes to Revere. And he lifts it into the air, center field. Lagares settles under it, and the Mets have taken 3 of 4 from the Phillies this weekend here at Citizens Bank Park as they win today 5-3. Now the Phillies once again brought the tying run to the plate in their final at bat, which they did quite often on this homestand, but no miracles today. They got an RBI double from Utley that did produce 1 run. But Jonathan Neese, he and David Buchanan locked up in what was kind of a pitcher's duel here today. Give Neese credit. He wound up going 7 innings.
Yeah, he competed well for 7 innings, and actually Terry Collins was going to take him out in the 6th, and he got through, and they didn't need the pinch hitter once they scored a couple runs. And he just typical Jonathan Neese. Use all 4 pitches, compete with my fastball, threw a lot of cutters, threw some good curveballs, threw a few changeups, nothing much for strikes, but got the outs when he needed them and got the Mets where they needed to be.
And he picked up his 6th victory of the season. So Jonathan Neese is our Chevy player of the game. The Mets take 3 of 4 from the Phils. They win it today 5-3.